guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about the interview process. If you checked out my last video, then you already know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, there should be a link right there. Y'all, I'm gonna give you the tea and tell you what goes on when you interview to be a Mac girl. I had my third interview. I did not record it. So I would like to just share my experience. And as a little disclaimer, I'm just gonna say that this was my experience. Everybody's experience is going to be different. So if you got an interview at Mac, they want you to be the best version of you, okay? I believe that, authenticity is the best thing when you are going to any job interview, let alone at a makeup cosmetics store, you know? Okay, so I applied for the role of beauty artist or makeup artist. I applied for a part-time, and I applied at a Mac counter. Now there were two other positions that were open, but they were at Mac stores, but they were farther than the Mac counter. So I applied for two positions. It was the same position but two locations. So one of them was at a Mac store inside of a mall. The other one was inside of a Macy's at a different mall. The one inside of the Macy's is closer to me. Now, when I had the phone interview, which was the very first interview, they asked me if I was willing to work at the other one, or what cities was I willing to drive to work at another Mac store. So I told them, and they kept it on file. Now this is how it went. I got an email from Mac. Now, let me stop right there. Some people are not aware that Mac and Estee Lauder are the same company. I know. Honestly, if it hadn't been for me being an avid Mac user for like 7 years now, I wouldn't have known either. So don't trip if you didn't know. I got an email from a rep that worked for Estee Lauder, and she asked me if I had any availability to do a phone interview. I gave them my best contact information, and we scheduled the phone interview. They were 30 minutes late to the phone interview. So I was waiting around. The phone number popped up. It wasn't like a robocall or like like sometimes iPhone will screen your calls for you, and they'll let you know if it's potential spam or whatever. It wasn't that type of situation. It was not a local phone number, but I expected a phone call because I was waiting for the interview. So they called me. They asked me if I had any experience in retail, in makeup retail. I said, no, not in makeup retail. I have some experience in retail. I worked at a department store a little while ago. It's been over a decade. So honestly, before applying to this job, I had taken that off of my resume because it was so old. So I put it back on there because I knew that retail experience was necessary. I also put that I freelance and that I've been doing so for the past 6 years. I started to freelance. I'm a self-taught makeup artist, and I started to freelance, like I said, maybe I officially launched in 2016. I kind of started in 2015. So I put that information on there, but I had a lot of experience in customer service. So I just make sure to continue to mention that, because they are big on that. She also asked me what my availability was. She asked me if I had any sales experience, and how do I feel selling products to people. So that was pretty much it. The interview didn't take no more than 10-15 minutes, and that was it. Okay, I got off the phone and I was like, I completely bombed this interview. I thought that I did terrible. I did not mention that I was a makeup artist at all. I didn't mention that I've been working with MAC Cosmetics from the beginning of my career. I didn't say anything about makeup. And it's like, dang, dummy, why you didn't say nothing? I don't know. I started to blank. I started to get nervous, and when I get nervous, I trip over my words, and I just started saying a lot, like It was terrible. So I was, telling people like, dang, I didn't do too good on that one. I don't know about that one. I don't think I did too good. So after that, I had an interview with one of their competitors. Sis, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, okay? Especially when you out here trying to get your coins, trying to do what you gotta do to better yourself. So I had an interview with a competitor. I'm thinking about doing a video about that too, but okay, so I was like, okay, I don't know. I think, we'll try again another time. We'll go from there. I even was thinking that the other MAC, the one that's inside the store, the open position, I said maybe that vacancy will, someone from that store will reach out and I can do it again. I don't know. But I just had already in my mind, I made up in my mind that I had failed. And that's a word, to not count yourself out, because you never know what is to come of a thing, especially when it comes to jobs and opportunities. Like, you don't know. Like, God could really have something for you that you think you don't deserve, you think you're not qualified for, and he'll be like, boop, and move something right into your path that you wasn't expecting. And in this case, that happened for me. So a week after I did the phone interview, they reached out to me and asked, I got a phone call this time, and it was from the store manager. And she asked me, could I come in for an interview? So I said, okay, sure. So we set it up. Please do not do this. Please take what I am saying to you and apply it. At least this one thing. Be on time. That's for an interview for anywhere. Please, I cannot stress enough. Try to even be a little bit early. If you can be 5, 10, sometimes even 15 minutes early, it gives you a leg up. I wrote down the wrong time, and no, I put the right time in my phone, but for some reason I thought that I set it 15 minutes early, because I'm always like just running to the last minute, especially now that I have a 6-month-old. Time gets away from you. So I like to set my timers. Like, if I have to be somewhere at 2 o'clock, I'll set my timer at 1:45. Like, I have to make myself believe like you have to be there at 1:45, or else I'll be there at 2:15. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I did a whole get ready with me video on that. And so I won't talk too much about that second interview. We'll talk about the third one. Okay, so I was late to the interview. I thought, again, that this was going to kill my chance. I was like, Jay, you are screwing up interviewing with MAC Cosmetics. And I hate to be late to stuff, like late to work, late to, my client appointments, things like that. I do not like it, and I do not tolerate it. If you come to the appointment late, it's gonna be a problem. So I was like, okay, I called ahead and I was like, I'm so sorry. I thought that it was this time, blah, blah, blah. She said, it's fine, just get here when you can. And that was pretty much that. When I got there, the interview went great. And, you know, thank God for that. So I got asked back to, at the end of the second interview, she asked me to come to a third interview. So she said, this is going to be a makeup audition. She told me what I needed to do. She said, you need to bring a model with you that has no makeup on, has a clean face. We're going to give you this scenario, and we won't give you the scenario until that day. When you get here for your interview, we'll go from there. So I said, okay. So you don't really know what to prepare for, but you know that you're going to be applying some type of makeup look, whatever it is that they request for you to do. I'm thinking, okay, no problem. I do this all the time. This is going to be cool. I did choose a model that I've done their makeup once before. I think that that's a good thing. Obviously, if you bring somebody that you are very familiar with their face, it's going to be even easier. So, you know, you keep that in mind. When I got there, I was told that I had 45 minutes to do a full face. They gave me the scenario, and I asked, I said, I wasn't sure what to expect, but she said, you'll have to gather all of your products. Here's some brushes. There's that. Now, post-COVID, they are trying to utilize disposables more so than using brushes. I remembered her telling me that from the interview. So I tried to keep that in mind and tried to stick to using disposables instead of, I tried to keep my hands off the brushes as much as possible. With that being said, it is very difficult to readjust when you are very particular about the types of things that you use and how you use them and the order in which you work. As if you're a makeup artist, then you already know what I'm talking about. Okay, now imagine going to somebody's house and they have a makeup collection. They tell you, here you go. All you get is a face. Everything else, you gotta go gather and figure out. And you need to do it in 45 minutes or less. Now, for me, I take a while to do makeup. I am very much a perfectionist when it comes to doing makeup, and I like it to be perfect. So I started scrambling. I thought I was like on like supermarket sweep or something. Like I started to run around the counter. Thank God it was not a freestanding store, because then it would have been bigger. And I started to run around the counter and just grab stuff. I was trying to think about what she told me that I needed to do and then try to execute a look. I was grabbing all kind of stuff. I was like, there was some stuff I couldn't find that I was like, oh my God, I'm missing a step. I thought that I completely screwed up, like for real. And I was nervous. It was hot. I mean, maybe I was just hot because I was nervous. I don't know. And I chose to wear a sweater dress. Like, you have to wear all black. And at Max inside of Macy's, they still require you to wear a mask. So I had a mask on. I had this full face of makeup on. I had this black sweater dress on. Sis, your girl was hot. My little edges started to like curl up on me. I was like, oh my God, my edge is not even slick. This eyelash was like hanging off a little bit. I was stressed. I was so stressed. I was like, this is not okay. Like, and I just didn't want the timer to go off and I wasn't done with the look. So that's what I was really stressed about. Not so much about the look or doing it. I've done many faces and stuff. So that wasn't the issue. It was knowing that this person is critiquing your work and, you know, you have to do what they're telling you to do. But at the same time, you work under that pressure, especially like when you're working in bridal or something like that. And if you're a makeup artist, you know. So, you know, when you're working in bridal, it's like, let's go. and you got somebody telling you the type of look that they want, and you're on a, you're on the clock because they want that makeup done before their photographer starts to show up. They want that, they have to be at the venue at this time. So maybe it just was, I was getting in my head, like thinking like, okay. And then you don't really know what they're judging you on. And is it just the makeup look? Is it your, like, if you're engaging with your model and pretending that they're a customer? Even my model asked me, like, should we talk or something? Like, are you supposed to be trying to, like, talk to me like you don't know me? And I was like, I don't know. And so I just, talked casually with her, just like I do with all my clients. And I could see that the manager was walking around, like she was doing other things, but she was watching. So I gather all of my products, and they provide everything. So all you do is show up and do it. So you don't bring no brushes, you don't bring no makeup, you don't, nothing. And you don't get to pick your brushes, you don't get to, like tell them like I'm only going to be using Pro Longwear and So you literally got to just go around. I'm telling you, like Supermarket Sweep. If you haven't seen Supermarket Sweep, Google it, look it up on YouTube. But that's how I felt. Like I was running around trying to gather products and making sure that I had complexion products, eye products, brow products, lip products. It was a mess. So I did all that. You know, I went on and I was working. And when the timer went off, I was putting mascara on the lower lash, on the bottom lashes. And I got a little bit of mascara right under the lower lash line. And I was like, can I clean it up? And she was like, yeah, go ahead. So I went ahead and just like kind of cleaned it up, and then I has like kind of smoked out the bottom. So I was like trying to hurry up and clean it off. It was smearing. I was like, why today? Why, Lord? Why? So yeah, it was interesting. But this store manager was very sweet. Her and I felt like clicked, like she was very down to earth, and she was cool. She was real cool. So I felt like, it was okay. If I would have had somebody who made me feel nervous and knew that I was nervous and didn't, like, had no compassion, that would have been a different story. But I didn't feel like that at all. So, yeah, that was pretty much it. When it was done, she asked me what products did I use, and I started to tell her, and she said, okay. And one thing you need to know is how to sell a product. Obviously, you work in a makeup store. Like, you're going to be selling stuff. And that's definitely going to be the goal. You're not just going to become showing up to work and doing makeup every day and all day. Like, just people waiting in line and be like, can I get my makeup done? It don't work like that. As a makeup artist, you're definitely going to encounter times where you need to utilize your customer service skills and your sales skills. I would say customer service, I'm going to continue to say that over and over because that is what matters. Aside from me interviewing for MAC, I try to provide the best customer service that I possibly can to my clients. For one, it makes them come back to you. And that's what you want, right? So you definitely want to build up that rapport. You want to build a level of trust with your clients that, that they don't feel like you're ripping them off and that you only care about their money. So, you want to build relationships, right? I'm not going to try to force you to like me or anything like that to try to get you to be a repeat customer. I believe that happens organically. And I didn't try to gas myself up or anything like that, but I did tell her, like, I pride myself on how I handle my customers and my clients. I said, and I try to provide an excellent customer experience because it is an experience. When people get their makeup done, it's a luxury. They want to feel luxurious. They want to have that experience, right? So, you know, I tried to make sure that I incorporated those things, and I went from there. That was pretty much it. She took a picture of the makeup that I did on my model, and that was pretty much it. Once everything was done, I gave the brushes back and, you know, went on my way. She told me that she will let me know by the end of the week. So when I know, y'all will know. So I'll come back and let you guys know how that went and let you know if I got the job or not. Some tips for interviewing for Mac are: 1, customer service. If you have even 1 year of customer service experience, regardless of what field it's in, it's relevant. People are not going to come to you and get their makeup done if they feel like you treat them like trash. They're not. I wouldn't, and I doubt highly if you would. Being very sanitary and making sure that you are complying with all type of guidelines. If there's still social distancing guidelines in your area, if there's still a mask mandate, all of that ties into it, you know? So keep those things in mind. I would say definitely brush up on your Mac history. Put that in your pocket. It's in case you got to pull that out. My interviewer said that she was impressed. It's a helpful thing to know. Some people said that they interview at Mac and they didn't ask them any of those questions. So it definitely depends, I think, on the individual. Lastly, you need to know why you want to work for Mac. You know, going in there and saying like, I want to work here because I get free makeup, ain't gonna cut it. You need to think about your answer and, you know, be genuine. Be genuine. If you are only applying for the job because you want to get free makeup, I don't know if that's gonna get you the job, but if it's the truth, you know, hey. But I would say definitely, and a lot of people, I've seen these videos and they're like, just be you, be authentic. That's the main key. Yes, it is. But also, be punctual. Be on time. Look the part. If you want to work for Mac, come in there like you already do. I wore all black. I made sure that my edges were slayed. I made sure that my brows was on point. I made sure that my makeup was good. I made sure, you know, that I was on point. Now, I was struggling come the third interview. I made sure to speak clearly. I made sure to be polite. I made sure to smile. I made sure to be myself. So the interviewer got the same version of what you're watching right now, language and all. Okay? Because I figured, where does that get me? If I come in here and I try to be something else. I remember working for an employer one time and they told me the person I interviewed is not the same person that I see working for me. And I got offended by that. And I thought like, you trying to say I'm fake? But, you know, in a way it was kind of fake because, you know, we all got an interviewer voice and we don't talk the same way that we talk when we are in interviews as opposed to when we are working on the job. Am I right or am I wrong? Let me know in the comments below and I'll be sure to reply. But she got, no, I'm just kidding. I didn't act like that. But close. I learned. That was a long time ago. I was very young when I did that interview and worked that job. And I learned. She wasn't the nicest person. So, yeah. Those are my tips. I definitely would say don't sweat it. Don't overthink it. I definitely did. I was like looking at YouTube, browsing stuff day and night, trying to find as much information as I possibly could so that I could be prepared. And really, after it was all said and done, I was like, girl, you got this. Oh, and something that the interviewer said, she said, I like that you demonstrated the scenario that I gave you. You did what I asked you to do, but it still looks like you, your style. So it let me know. I think that they check out your social media. I think they'd be looking. I was not asked, so I did not bring a portfolio or anything like that. Nowadays, social media is, sufficient. But they didn't ask me for my social media handles. It's pretty easy to find. By the way, you can follow me on social media using this handle, okay? So yes, with all that being said, at the end of the day, I prayed about these interviews and I went on them feeling good, and even when I didn't feel so good or so confident, things turned around in my favor. So I'm not worried about the outcome, whether I get the job or I don't. It was an experience that I learned from and that I needed. So thank you for watching. Thank you for hitting up my channel. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'll be coming at you with some new videos. And leave some comments. Let me know what y'all think. Have y'all interviewed at Mac? Did you get the job? Are you a manager? Do you give your makeup? How much is the discount, sis? Let us know. I'll see you in my next video. All right.